Long before cars and modern cities, humans already knew about a strange substance coming from beneath the earth. In ancient Mesopotamia, natural petroleum appeared as thick black bitumen. People used it to waterproof boats, seal buildings, and protect everyday objects. For thousands of years, oil remained a useful but relatively limited natural resource. Then, the Industrial Revolution changed everything. Factories needed energy, cities needed light, and the world began searching for a cheaper fuel. That search would lead humanity underground. In the 1850s, American prospectors began searching for petroleum. In 1859, an oil well at Titusville, Pennsylvania, successfully reached underground petroleum. The discovery proved that oil could be extracted on a large scale. Soon, wooden derricks appeared across Pennsylvania. Crude oil was collected, transported, and refined into useful products such as kerosene. Oil towns grew rapidly. Money began flowing into the industry. A strange substance beneath the ground was becoming one of the world's most valuable resources. Black gold had arrived. As petroleum became cheaper, its importance grew. John D. Rockefeller and Standard Oil became major forces in the American petroleum industry. Then, the automobile changed everything. Gasoline-powered cars, trucks, ships, and eventually airplanes. Oil also became essential to modern warfare. During the First World War, fuel became an increasingly important strategic resource. Nations began to understand that controlling energy could mean controlling economic and military power, and that would make the world's oil-rich regions incredibly important. During the 20th century, enormous petroleum reserves were discovered across the Middle East. Oil transformed economies and created enormous wealth. But it also attracted international competition. Governments and corporations wanted reliable access to petroleum. By the middle of the 20th century, oil had become essential to modern civilization. Cars filled roads. Factories depended on fuel. Ships transported oil across oceans. And armies needed enormous amounts of petroleum to operate. Oil was no longer just a commodity. It had become a source of global power. In 1973, the world experienced a major oil crisis. Fuel became harder to obtain. Long lines formed at gasoline stations, and economies around the world were affected. The crisis revealed something important. Modern civilization had become deeply dependent on petroleum. Without enough oil, transportation slowed, industry suffered, and everyday life became more expensive. But oil also created environmental costs. Pollution increased, fossil fuel consumption expanded, and concerns about climate change grew. Oil had helped build the modern world, but it had also created a massive dependency. Today, oil still powers a huge part of the global economy. Cars, trucks, airplanes, ships, factories, and countless products remain connected to petroleum and industry. But the world is searching for alternatives. Solar power, wind energy, electric vehicles, battery technology. Replacing oil won't be simple because petroleum is deeply connected to modern transportation and industry. That's why the story of oil is much bigger than a story about a black liquid beneath the earth. It is a story of industrialization, wealth, war, technology, and power. Oil